right now. Bravo, Gaskin, it's over to you. Let's get hype.
Take us in. Oh my God, we're into gameplay. Bravo and Gaskin bringing you E United versus Sentinels. This is not an illusion. This is not a mirage. Gaskin, we're into gameplay.
At least we're into game one. What happens in game two? That remains to be seen, but we can at least enjoy this one while it's on our screens. Camouflage in the hands of Frosty right now. But it's been early scoring for E United, racking up to about 30 points, but there's a lot to do here with this camo.
There certainly is as we take a look up top, and exactly what's going to go down is Frosty with camo and sniper control on back tower. Once again, game number one here, going to be strongholds on live fire between these two. Only one can advance here. It's a best of 5 late in the evening in our elimination semifinals.
Also, shout out to Nerdslayer, who is actually Snakebite using Lottie's account. So Lottie is featuring for the HCS today, so at least she was able to help out because it seemed like there was some issues there on Snakebite's account, but at least we're into it now. 45 points in favor of the 0, but look at this, there could potentially be a trip cap. Look at the synchronization in A and B taken right now.
Yeah, very good angles there from that wave coming in from the back of the B pillars. Like you said, a B control now coming in for the side of Sentinels.
But now it's what you do with A and B here. You can just push up, you can hold A and B, really focus B. Don't allow them to push easily from C to take it away from you. But because of the height difference, you do leave yourself very vulnerable to grenades just getting slammed into you. You can be repulsed off the map as well if you put your back to the open space behind you. So you've got to be really careful. But somehow, Sentinels have pushed around and they're taking C away from E United.
Yeah, they are. That's a big swing there. And it's going to be a momentary trip cap. B will start to be converted as well as we take a look at the E United side. And it's King Nick who's going to swing over to power up and denies the power up grab as well. It's a great play. Going to make his way over as well, but finds lethal back dummies. Needs to be careful here. Going down here would likely forfeit the power. Here comes Spartan as well trying to push in. They will trade with World 2, and who's going to be the last one in to snag that?
Nice movement coming out of Lethal here, just to try and get from one spot to the other, but you can see really the difference that can be made if you've got a sniper rifle there. So quickly you can shoot a player out of the sky and make them weak with good assisting coming through. But E United have been traversing the map successfully as a team, constantly rotating, making Sentinels think with every single move that they make.
Yeah, World 2 just waiting and baiting on B, just trying to see if anyone might push from Nest. He knows that a player might be there. It's actually King Nick who's in Nest, so looking across to see what's happening with teammates, and still nothing coming in. So he's actually going to push top middle here alongside Snakebite, Frosty's top tower as well as they start to make that rotate. Frosty going to still be camoed, AR in hand as well. Going to keep an eye on top middle.
And it's great that they've taken C, but that will leave A vulnerable here. So now as E United start to move towards A, Sentinels should try and prioritize B, but Frosty with the camouflage feels like he can do something a little bit different here. Will take down one and somehow is still alive. A great assistance there from Lethal. What a play from Sentinels.
Those are the plays we are used to seeing from Frosty. Going to drop shield, check the Nest angle as well. Going to quickly jump right in to B as well as they'll start converting there, and they'll start converting behind on the lines on C as well. A and B now back in the control of Sentinel. It's 44 to 89.
Now A and B would be my preference if I'm on the back foot and if I'm struggling to try and get any points, just to try and get something on the board. But if you really want total control, if you really want to hold another team to their wits' end, then I would suggest C and B would be the priority positions. But ultimately, when you get strongholds here on live fire, it's all about that battle for B. And if you can hold it consistently throughout the game, the likelihood is you're going to be racking up more points than the other team.
Yeah, and Sentinel's going to be very proud of what they've done over these past few minutes of gameplay. Not only brought the game back, but essentially neck and neck here with this A-B hold. It's been a convincing one that has put many, many points on the board, and we are just about tied here at the 80s, and it's also Royal 2 with a Mangler camo here on pillars.
The good thing about holding A and B is how quickly you can get from A to B and vice versa, and the nades you can throw from one to another as well. But Sentinels on the prowl very much want to take C because they recognize that United were rotating around to take A off spawn, but the camo just keeps going into the hands of Sentinels. They've been the ones that are prioritizing it, they've been rewarded for it, but Royal 2 does get spotted out.
He does get spotted, he gets eagle-eyed there and also cleaned up. Spartan makes sure to try to guess that route and does it well to fly into pillars and pick up that kill. So B and C will be converted as Frosty comes up here on back C, trying to make a move against Ryan Noob.
And we're really going to see the power of a triple cap here. Now these points are going to start to rack up for E United. Sentinels need to put themselves into a position where they can stop this bleeding, because it can very easily get out of control here, Bravo, if you don't prioritize one of these strongholds quickly. But again, they're synchronizing the A and C push here.
Yeah, they really did well there to get total control for just a second. Now, A does get converted for the side of Sentinel, so we'll take a look at Ryanu here, pushing in from Ness. Needs to win this battle against Snakebite, but a great pre-nade. Make that 2 nades coming in from Snakebite. That's going to get the better of Ryanu, but it's going to leave Rain all the way up top at Ness to try to get the kill, and he does. Let's see if he can push in here with a teammate on Frosty. Royal 2 trying to anchor from those sandbags.
Notice how Frosty didn't desperate there onto B. Even though he probably could have gained control of it, he would have left himself very vulnerable to grenades just being tossed from C. Instead, prioritized the kill, then they started to take B, and they still haven't just grabbed it, but eventually now they'll start to score some points. But a really good period of play for E United. That triple cap has set them just about 30 points ahead right now.
Yeah, we're seeing very clear periods of control from these two teams. A big swing from E United. That's going to be a grab on screen. You see there for Nick. A big swing for E United. Sentinels answers back. And just like that, our third winner in those exchanges, it's going to be E United so far. That brings them up 139 to 119, but we're back to the A-B hold for Sentinels.
That could be the downside of sometimes getting greedy and going for the triple cap as well. Frosty there leaving himself exposed to the spawns on dummies, gets taken down, gives E United the player advantage, and now E United are taking B because of that. Now, I'm not saying it was a mistake from Frosty, but that is the risk you take when you push the triple cap. It's very much a risk and reward play.
King Nick there, very wise to back down. He actually got bodied with a snipe, so make sure to stay alive in the back of the base. Now he's back tower. He actually will trade there. Does not opt for the repulsor. Will trade with Snakebite. A little bit left in the heat wave, so now we'll jump on board with Ryanu down low.
And Ryanu looking to try and get up close and personal with the AR here. Even though there's only one on the map, it certainly can be a power weapon at times. If you can get in the grills of your opponents and you can just drill them down with the assault rifle, some assistance from a teammate's BR or whipping out your BR to get that final shot, it really can be deadly. So that's why I'm not surprised we see a lot of teams actually prioritize one player picking up the assault rifle when it's available.
Ryanu finally gets taken down by the heat wave of Royal 2, and just like that, during that A-B hold, which has now become a momentary AC hold, it has been Sentinels who's taken the lead off of a very, very strong swing there. Now 169 to 141 in favor of Sentinels.
That's how quickly this game can change. Look how Sentinels are trying to force this B hole, but also well aware of who's at A right now. That's a big fight, and that's a big kill from Royal 2. If that hadn't have gone his way, Sentinels might have been looking at a potential another trip cap for E United.
And Royal 2 doing well to anchor sandbags there during that A hold, but it's E United that wants B. They have their eyes set on it. Spartan actually gets what looked like repulsored off of the map, so he will have to think a little bit of time to think about that as he's in the respawn screen. And now all eyes are on B, and it will slowly start to get converted for E United. It's going to be a camo in the hands of Frosty.
Yeah, another camo. It just seems like every time that camo pops, it's Sentinels who are prioritizing it. Is that something to do with coaches? Is that Royal 1 showing his value here in this game? But it is still Sentinels leading the game. They do still have around 50-point advantage, even though E United had that one swing, Andy. Ever since then, Sentinels have responded so well by transitioning from A to C accordingly and not allowing E United to get that trip cap.
Yeah, what we've seen this game is really control-based game, and you don't always get that in Stronghold. Sometimes it can be a bit scrappy, a bit messy, but we've actually had very specific, very dedicated periods of control between these two teams. It's actually a player waiting top middle with the heat wave there, and going to be the side of Sentinels that wins that battle. As we take a look at an AC hold here for Sentinels, they're about to cross that 200-point mark.
They know they're going to lose A, so they have to push B. They have to make sure they value this B push, and they do so. Snakebite with a big kill, but now has lost a couple of teammates here, so has to first survive the barrage of grenades, but will not survive. Great placement there from E United to ensure that that wasn't going to be an easy take whatsoever for Sentinels.
United will also swing C here. Going to grab that, and let's see what the move is here from King Nick. Going to right away try to get back to top middle. He knows the sniper's up, but the nades deny the sniper coming in from Sentinels. They are now presumably going to be making this push, and now Spartan and King Nick need to work together top middle.
Yeah, there's just a lot of 2x2s running at the moment, and Royal 2 has now managed to achieve getting the sniper rifle, and you know full well that when Royal 2 has a sniper rifle, things could pop off, and there's another triple cap. Finally, we do see E United just popping into A to make sure that those points aren't scored too quickly. Gotta hit this last one, which he gets assists by the Nerd Slayer.
Still points going on the board for Sentinels. You could tell by the speed at which it was capped. A little bit of a rotation there, and oh, trying to juggle the sniper, but it's going to be King Nick that flies in the back of the base, hits the body. It looked like on Snakebite as well. Yes, he did tag him, but not in the dome. So it's going to just be a body shot, and Snakebite will now have an opportunity to rotate here and just getting rid of ammo, and also doing a little bit of electrician work towards the back of tower. It will be 239 for Sentinels. They will get A as well. Only 10 points to go for them to score. It's a back-whack though. It's a wild POV change. Ryan Noob will pick that one up. And right now, rightfully so, E United finally back on the board in terms of scoring, but they need to be very careful here. They only have 11 points before Sentinels will close this out.
Sentinels are taking C right now as well. That would allow them to start scoring, but does leave A vulnerable. But look how quickly the grenades are spammed into A to try and stop Rain doing so. A big reset could happen here, which will happen. Points still being scored. Sentinels close to closing this one out.
They certainly are now 5 points away here, 245, and that will continue to tick. We do need to see control coming in from ARC, but it almost won't matter because the B hold is coming in as well. Sentinels will take your game number 1 with a score of 250 to 164.
Well, so the big rivalry, the big rematch is starting to go in favor of Sentinels. It was a closely contested game for the majority, Andy, but then Sentinels just slowly but surely started to separate. Fantastic little visuals we've got, and it's going to be Street Slayer. So ignore what I said, but again, same thing can stand. This one can be pretty snowbally as well if you can gain control of rockets, if you can gain control of the Bulldog, you can prioritize collapsing on your team and on the opposition. It can get very ugly indeed.
Rockets 2 going to hands of Royal 2. He'll connect on Neons for the first one. Going to be looking to see what other scraps might be lying around as well. Keeping a shift over to B stairs, but has to be very careful as he is still tagged up and his shields will still be low. Going to just hold down on the Bulldog spawn for just a moment, and then with some help across Neons into Tires, pick up another kill on Spartan to kick things off. They're up 4-1.
Sentinels just look like a different team, don't they? I think that E United may have prodded the Beast a little bit too much, and Sentinels look like they really want to take down and make a statement here against E United. A nice 4-1 lead. They do have control a lot of the priority weapons and priority positions here, and E United already on the back foot trying to escape this station spawn, and look how suffocated they are, desperately trying to march through bottom middle and being punished for it.
Yeah, look at this, and it almost felt like you had E United trying to slow the game down in these moments, or trying to take angles that you might try to take in something like a ball game. In a Slayer, there's really no rules about where you can and can't go. You could totally flip those spawns. So Sentinels just catching several players off down at ball spawn, bottom mid, and B stairs, and that just extends their lead here 8-3. Royal 2 also sitting here, just gonna wait it out. Got an AR and ready to go, as you see on the third person, just waiting to see if anyone might try to push through. 2 players come at once, and honestly, great play by E United. They checked that corner, sending 2 players.
The double shoulder peek from E United, perfectly pushing in tandem. That's what you need. You need to be holding hands sometimes here on Street Slayer. Otherwise, you can be punished. You don't want to allow the other team to get too many 1v1 engagements, especially when they've got weapons like the Bulldog. As we get the drop shield Bulldog combo, this is really difficult to play against, but E United successfully backing off ever so slightly here.
Snakebite gonna find Spartan in the back, doesn't even need the Bulldog to do it. Will pick up the kill with the melee as well. That'll extend their lead now 13-5, and it's a very different Sentinels that we are seeing today, and they are ready to play. If you're just joining us, first of all, welcome to our elimination semifinals. That's a rocket grab in the hands of Lethal as well. We've had a big rivalry developing between these two teams, and just in case you missed it, a little bit of social media banter between the two as well. E United wins that last series 2-0, but now Sentinels not only up 1-0 in the series, also leading in game number 2 as well.
Yeah, banter is one way to put it. Certainly, if you want to be watching anything tonight after this, watch Twitter, watch social media, because whichever way this series goes, I'm sure we're going to see a little something. That last word is going to be said, or wanted to be said, by both teams. But a 15-7 scoreline here, an 8-kill advantage. This is so much slower than I'm used to seeing Slayer be played on streets. And I think both teams recognizing when the other team has some priority positions, when those teams have those big weapons that can do damage. And because of that, E United are playing a little bit restricted. They're reluctant to push out, and Sentinels are capitalizing on it every time because they're collapsing, they're getting those kills, and they're keeping this advantage.
You called it perfectly. They're getting that advantage without even spending a rocket. Lethal still has rockets here in Tires now. And just like you said, E United was slowing this down because they're down by a significant enough margin, and they know that the enemy has rockets, so they do not want to make the wrong push. But actually on the other side of the map, there on B Street, it was all Snakebite, just still racking up kills for his squad. Now they're up by 9. Ooh, That rocket from Lethal catches the wall there. Unfortunate for him. That rocket from Snakebite not going to connect either. So a little bit of a change of fate here for the side of United.
Certainly not the rockets you want to see, but at least they were fired and not put into the enemy hand. So I guess that's the silver lining for that play, but it's still an 8-kill advantage right now as the game slightly speeds up. But every single time we're seeing a 1-for-1 trade, and Sentinels will take that all day long. E-United need to get Sentinels on the back foot. They need to start taking down 2-3 players and get Sentinels spawning down towards the station area so that then Sentinels are the ones having to try and push out.
Look at the play from Rain. Does very well to stay alive here. Also trying to push in A. He was able to stay alive as long as he could against Lethal. Still trying to find out where Lethal might be at A and prioritizes the rockets appropriately. Knows that there might still be a player on Elbow and gets the double kill trade. Like you said, it's a dangerous opportunity if United continues to trade this way. And also pinging the rockets is Nick. They are down there. Spartan's going to be the one to grab them.
Such an efficient use of the pinging system as well. Shows how important it can be to give an exact location as to where those rockets can be. And that's the difference the rockets can make. It's now only a 4-kill game. Spartan making sure those rockets connected.
Got to talk about that play that we just saw from Rain. He's alone in PD with no shields. Makes sure to isolate the battle with Lethal, stays alive long enough to help on rockets, then gets the trade back Elbow as well. That's a huge set of plays from him that now brings this game within 4, 27-23 in favor of Sentinels.
Royal 2 currently has 15 kills and 5 deaths. Lethal with just the 2 kills, but only 3 deaths. And that very much says the story for Sentinels at the moment, is it's just been Royal 2 running around, destroying everyone, whilst the rest of the Sentinel squad are just staying alive and waiting for E-United to push them. But at least E-United have made this a closer game. At one point, it was looking perhaps out of reach as they were 8 to 10 kills behind. But as long as they can stay within 4 to 5, Andy, there's always that chance of overturning this one.
King Nick just bulldogging his way through A. Also Spartan helping from the Neon angle into Tires. That now brings the game within 3. So we've got a fantastic game number 2 on our hands. Just 30-27 in favor of Sentinels. But you have to say, not only in terms of the scoreboard trajectory, but even the momentum feels like it's starting to go the way of United just a bit. But here comes a frosty push.
Well, United, they pushed Sentinels onto the back foot. They made them be spawning in station. And this is why I always say, try and set up, try and force those spawns towards station, because then you have the high ground. You can play positions like this. They usually have to either push up red ramp or neon ramp. And in both positions, you leave yourself vulnerable to being shot from a distance and from an angle where you're at a disadvantage. So that's why you want to force them into these spawns. It's where United were for the opening start of this game, but now they've forced Sentinels into this position.
Just like that, it's a 2-kill game, 32-34. Rockets have popped, and it's a battle for them bottom middle. Ryan Noob will trade. Spartan still has an angle, so does King Nick. Eyes are really going to be on this rocket launcher bottom middle. Could really influence how we get into the 40s here. 1-kill game.
Again, you're just seeing pings from both teams so that they can specify and actually point out where the rocket is going to be in a specific place. 37-34, so still a 3-kill advantage for Sentinels. Make it 2, but rockets in the hand of King Nick could really be the difference maker.
What does Nick do here? No! Hits the rocket, and it looks like it caught him and Rain on B stairs. It did not hit the pillars. It did take down Frosty, but you have to think the game might have played out very differently from that moment had he not spent that rocket and also got some splash damage, not only on himself, but also a teammate. So just like that, it will be a 3-kill game in favor of Sentinels, and we have now United back at Tram. Spartan will fall to Lethal, and could that be the moment that the side of E-United looks back on after the evening ends? Moment by moment, we will have to see if that's what it comes down to. Nick trying to thrust away as well. Now, just like that, a 4-kill game. They bring it back within 3, though, 40-37 in favor of Sentinels.
Look at the angle from Nerdslayer, aka Snakebite, playing on an alternate account there. That's why it's so difficult to push out of Tram, because from on top of PD, you can see the entire red ramp, and you're so vulnerable to those shots. But United have done well to at least get out of Tram, but at what cost? They're 7 kills down now, 6 away from Sentinels from taking this game, but a nice, quick 2 successive kills here to bring this back within 5.
Royal 2 is 20-9 right now. Nobody else in the game even has 14 kills. Huge numbers from him, and we'll stay on board with him, fittingly so, towards the end of this game. Right now up 44-39, looking to extend that lead, but do they ever have a good cushion? It's going to be a Ryan Noob grab, if I'm not mistaken, on the bottom rockets. Probably a little bit of carnage on these rockets. We'll have to see where they end up. It's Ryan Noob on B stairs, just like that, 46-41.
Oh, he's trying to hold on to the rockets, but it's a big double from Royal 2. Rewarded with the rockets, 23 kills. He could make this 25-kill game and close it out with these rockets in hand.
Here it goes. Oh, he looks right away. King Nick was coming in the back, and right there going to tag up one. That should be at 49. Just needs to find the last kill, and PD, it's right on his screen. He gets the double kill as well, and Royal 2 makes it a 25-kill game. Sentinels will win 50-41.
The man has just got half the kills of his team. That is insane. That is the kind of potential that this Sentinel squad has, that Royal 2 has. It doesn't matter what iteration of Halo.
All right, and welcome back here. Bravo and Gaskin alongside each other here for this match. We're jumping back into the game. Gaskin, thankfully, here. We'll get this scoreboard all plugged up and set up here in just a moment. Here it is. It's 2-0 in favor of Sentinels over E United. And taking a look at this opening rush here on Bazaar, the one we were just talking about, Gaskin. A little bit of a rocket grab coming in here for Snakebite.
Yeah, not only the rockets, but also the overshield. So Sentinels, their starting strategy is very much worked here, but it's about what you can do from this position. Noticing the spawns over towards Thruster, that's one of the main spawns that you will find here on this map, so you've always got to keep an eye on it when you're pushing in. But very much Sentinels in the face of E United right now, and they're running the first flag.
Sentinels wasting no time. It's going to be a BR pull. Also keeps the flag on the bridge there. Thinking about maybe tossing bottom middle, but drops the Slay for just a bit. It's going to be Ryan Noob outside, but Ryan Noob wins that one on the rocket side. It's a big battle. He will stay alive and also grab a Bulldog.
And the Bulldog really can be, you know, the weapon that can turn the tide in your favor. But now the flag being run on the other side here by E United. So both flags out right now. The Slays that we're going to see here in middle are going to be so vital for the next 30 seconds or so. Can you get a read? Can you get the Slay? Can you then actually get the touch if you're on the other team? Big moments happening right now down at Market.
Gonna be a double kill there for the side of Snakebite, and the Bulldog does not connect as much as the E United side would have liked that. Flag does get returned. A drop and shoot there from Snakebite. Tries to advance it. He does get it to the midway mark, but that's going to be 2 dead now on the side of Sentinels. They will need to continue slaying if they want to continue this run.
Yeah, continue slaying and also try and prioritize getting the return here, which I think they're going to be able to do, which they will. So both flags were temporarily out, but now they are back to where they're going to be cozy at their home. I think Overshield is about to pop in a couple of seconds, so we're seeing a big old smash up in middle at the moment. Big double from Frosty, and now it's about whether he can get over towards that OS.
Frost using equipment so wisely there to just stay alive over at Rocket side. You did see some work coming in from the teammates as well, so he will stay alive here on top Rockets. Taking a look at the kills early on, it's going to be Spartan and Frosty, both 5 kills apiece.
You're able to get Obi, Snakebite pushing in, so E United have been on the back foot for the majority of this game, and something that they did very well against Optic when we saw them playing Optic earlier on was they were being very much a nuisance. They were getting behind every single time they were having their flag pulled. Someone was overextending and then pulling Optic's flag, and I think we're seeing something very similar here against Sentinels, but on this occasion, no one is in a position to do so. They've just got to try and do what they can with grenades.
What a run from Snakebite. Actually tosses it top middle there. A little bit of a riskier route there and flies right in. Wastes no time, goes through the double doors. That'll be 1-0 in favor of Sentinels, and they are leading here in this game, poised to potentially take this series in just 3 games after most recently losing to E United 2-0.
Poised to take the series, but are they poised to take the Rockets? No, Spartan utilizing that grapple just as we saw in the videos we were showing before this game started. And now with Bulldog, with Rockets, we can see United push into this base, and 3 are currently dead for Sentinel. So this flag is definitely moving, but with 2 down to E United, you've got to be careful. And look how quickly the spawners of Sentinels don't allow E United to even get that flag on the go.
But guess what? There's a Snakebite at the front door, and he says, "You shall not pass." He'll also pick up 2 from the tree. Very nice plays from Snakebite, stopping that flag run, also picking up the kill. That'll move Snakebite now into the 10-kill category, make that 11, the first one to hit double digits.
Nice killing spree from Snakebite, and I think if they can get this next overshield, I think that will say a lot about what Sentinels have been able to achieve in the opening stages of this game on Bazaar, because they really have managed to position themselves in a spot to consistently grab Ovi, then push into the flag and actually get those flags on the move with the Slays that come after it. There's the return that should come through here, but Sentinels are fine with that. Actually, I say they were. The touch comes out just as he was watching, so Sentinels keep this flag alive.
What a flag touch and what an overshield grab coming in from Ryan Noob. Here's the question, what can Ryan Noob do on the side of the double doors? He's going to fly right in. That overshield has been nuked off, but he is still in the back of the base.
So maybe Sentinels shouldn't have gone for that touch. They very much left themselves somewhat exposed, but I can understand just sometimes trying to go for the dipsy doodle, grab that flag and see if you can get a little cheeky one, but E United were wise to it and they got Slays because of that. However, United, even with that overshield, weren't able to push into the flag there, Bravo, because Sentinels, as you say, nuked it. The focus that we're seeing from this Sentinel squad, they are shooting so successfully as a team, prioritizing which enemies they focus at a time. It's really impressive to watch.
Range is sitting there in the top hut, and our observer's doing well to show us a little bit of the angle that you can utilize there, just in that top area on the pipes, to avoid some grenades that might tag you up, especially if you are weak and going up against dynamo nades or spike grenades as well. Now, Rain also trying to still advance through the tree, does find a player bottom tree, knows he needs to be careful here.
14 and 8 at the moment for Spartan. And he really has stepped up his game over the last couple of weeks. It's been fantastic to see this E United roster go from strength to strength, but they really need to dig deep if they're going to take down Sentinels now and try and reverse sweep the series. Not only reverse sweep the series, but come back from being behind here in CTF Bazaar. But certainly the way that Sentinels have moved their way around the map as a unit, they've made it very difficult for E United to get any presence.
Doesn't look good here with the melees, and it can only mean one thing. It looks like that match is going to be shut down as well. However, there will be one flag on the board. We will let League administration figure out exactly what happens with the restart.
Well, we are back into the game, and it's all four dead here for E United. So off the rip, once more, Sentinels have demonstrated what they can do as a starting strategy. It's rockets, it's overshield, it's all of the goodies, but it is a perfect, at least, to take down Frosty and not allow that flag to be pulled. And certainly, the starting strategy we saw first off was very impressive from Sentinels, and I guess what surprises me here is they were able to do it a second time. E United did not have an answer back for it. They weren't able to stop this Sentinels push, and I think that says wonders about how impressive this starting strategy really was from Sentinels, because if they carry on being able to find this much success and this much room to get rockets, to get overshield, they're going to be consistently pushing into the opposition base, consistently getting flags on the go. But at least E United were able to answer back and stop them from pulling at this time. But remember, Sentinels did have a flag lead, and we will get confirmation whether that is still the same or whether we will be moving to a reset from the admins. But here comes Royal 2 running another flag here for Sentinels and just trying to get this one through bottom middle once more. And Andy, I mean, it's been another start from Sentinels, which I'm really impressed by.
We'll take a look to see what this team can do. Do they answer back in an elongated series? Do they answer back 3-0 in a response to last night's events? Or will this series continue on here? Assuming it's still 1-0 in favor of Sentinels here on the restart. We'll get confirmation from League Ops. Yes, indeed, it is 1-0 on the board. So just in case you're just joining us here, we'll give you a quick recap. E United able to defeat Sentinels in their last matchup. However, Sentinels now leading in the elimination bracket semifinals. We have a flank from Lethal, but Ryan Noob turns around with the Bulldog and wins that battle bottom Rockets.
Look at this setup around Overshield as well. Rain was able to get it, just grappling it into his chest, and now they can try and push up with this advantage. E United. Frosty was in a position to potentially take it, but that is the answer to an overshield, is a plasma pistol, and that's why it's positioned on this map, for that reason exactly.
Wow, the overshield absolutely neutralized. We talk about melting an overshield, but there's no faster way to do it, like you say, than with the plasma pistol. We'll pick up that kill now. King Hut all the way, excuse me, King Nick in the hut, not King Hut, that's a different guy. Trying to win a battle across to bottom Rockets will eventually be taken down. Now here comes the Sentinels push.
Sentinels have been pushing successfully, and look at these grenades as well into Bar, just making it so awkward for anyone waiting. But once more, the plasma pistol showing its strength, but it's not enough to try and combat Royal 2 coming from behind. Of course, Sentinels can play this one of two ways. They know they've got a one flag lead here, so they can just try and slay out, gain mid-map control, only push towards a flag if they feel like they have a real opportunity to get a pull, but it's a big double from Royal 2 just as the rockets are coming up.
Yeah, taking a look at the kills category, certainly going the way of Sentinels as well. Early on here, it's Royal 2 leading the game after an amazing Slayer now. Also, Snakebite has tied with him at 7 kills apiece. Rain will eventually fall in the hut as well. Now over to Frost.
Oh, and a big kill as well. Actually, I say it was a big kill. It was Royal 2 who once more comes out to assist this one. Trying to go for maybe a push onto Ryanu, and it's gonna work out when you got the rockets and also the grapple showing its worth here once more. Just being able to freely grab it from the base there.
Not the first time we've seen that. You pull it from the flag stand and you go ahead and pull it right away. And this time we're not seeing it in bar, but instead seeing it in the hut. Going to try to go front door. If he's able to do it, should be home free. Snakebite now bringing this flag in what could be a second flag in aggregate score. Back under the flag stand. No contest in the back. A melee of celebration. They will go up 2-0 officially in this game number 3.
So Sentinels 2-0 up and even closer to taking this series, but there is an overshield going into the chest of Ryanoob. This is what E United needed. They needed just a little spur of something extra to be able to push into this Sentinels base and break this setup. It has been a fortress so far. The only time we've seen E United really get into the Sentinels base has been when they've overextended, when they've flanked. Maybe this overshield will just give them the freedom to push in, but Ryanoob focused again, and that overshield gets so quickly melted away.
And not just focus from Lethal, but you'll notice in the feed, Lethal picked up another kill immediately right away in the tree as well. So Lethal doing everything he can to shut down this rush. They've shut down that overshield, and you'll have to see if the side of E United still going to be able to get a flagpole or a flag run out of this, because the pressure's coming from Sentinels in the back of the base, and they will clean up Ryanoob as well.
Grapple did fall there, and potentially someone could grab it. Lethal prioritizing the Dynamo grenades once more because he can gain so much information if he tosses them here into tree. As soon as he hears that tick damage, he knows where players are, he knows he's doing damage to the opposition, and then they can push in. Royal 2 with 1, Lethal with the second. That's going to be 2 down for United, so a chance at another flag run, Andy.
3 dead momentarily. Lethal tosses for a front door run. He's going to go. No one challenging just yet, trying to find out where their spawners might be. And take a look all the way around the hut. 3 players over there. Lethal going to make a route here and try to take the battle on truck, and they're doing well to keep their pressure on this side of the map.
Lethal just trying to do his best. Dance around Market to avoid the grenades. He did get the toss up to Frosty though, and look how quick Sentinels are to train this one back, Andy. This is fantastic teamwork, knowing when to run the flag, when to drop in Slay, and it's going to be a 3rd flag going in now for Sentinels. They are 2 caps away from taking this series, or 6 minutes away from taking this series, knocking E United out in top 4, moving on to that elimination bracket final.
All right, like we said, time often a factor here. It's another set of assists that come in for Frosty as that overshield is about to pop. He's not done yet, not afraid to challenge Rain on Rocket's side. Had his number, he thought, but Rain comes back, wins that battle, so it's Snakebite who has to think about what he wants to do on Double Door. We'll keep an eye on where that overshield went as well.
Look how Snakebite's just dancing back and forth between the double doors as well, knowing grapple shot's going to be there and available, and knowing the difference maker that the grapple could make. And now he's going to soar on in, but maybe get spotted out, but it doesn't matter when you've got a Mangler in the hand, Bravo. Mangler really is a power weapon on this map. I don't care what anyone says, you have to prioritize it.
Doing so well, like you said, just back and forth, just staying alive here. A little bit of victory crouches as well, as he's just happy with what he's been able to do with that grapple. Pops into the tree, sees Rain, gets forced to retreat. So it's good counter pressure from the side of E United, but Gaskin certainly, Sentinels is happy to continue playing this way. Right now, as we said, they're up not only 2-0, but 3-0 because this was a match restart. So they have an extra flag on the board.
Look at this slate.
They can really play these 5 minutes as kind of as cautious as they want.
Once more, I mean, Royal 2 is doing Royal 2 things, 18-6 at the moment. Remember, he got 25 kills on Slayer Streets just prior to this, and I really think that Royal 2 is a different kind of beast today. This whole Sentinel squad looked right up for it, and I think that was always going to be the potential when E United did poke them a little bit with a stick. They prodded the beast, and the beast has very much awoken, and now Sentinels with a 3-0 lead, 4 minutes 30 seconds remaining. E United have to find something to turn it around here. They need to band up together. They need to start getting these overshields, getting these rockets. As Ryanoob, he's got behind enemy lines, and with the overshield coming up in 20, this could end up being a very difficult pull to make.
Ryanoob not pulling just yet. You saw him time that pull, and as he does see not even a kill come in, they were actually 3v4 at the time of the pull, knows that he now has a little bit of a flag standoff coming. This will be do or die. You have to think with 4 minutes left on this flag run. If United could put this in, they maybe stand a chance, but if this becomes a Sentinel cap, that could be all she wrote for United here on this Thursday evening.
At least a big kill, make it a big double from Spartan, but the overshield once more is headed over towards Sentinels, so that means they're going to potentially get the re here, as Ryanoob will just sacrifice it. He will allow it to go, and he will instead focus on trying to ensure that his flag can be returned. But I think you've got to now start to take risks if you're United. You're 3-0 down, just over 3 minutes left. You've got to try and get in the base. So I can understand why Ryanoob has made that play, why he's tried to run this flag, but unfortunately it came at a time where all 4 members of Sentinels were still alive.
And you have to think at the beginning of this restart, E United only down by 1 flag, and with as strong as they've been playing, it's a grapple up into the bar, by the way, from Lethal. He will begin to challenge right away. Spartan was ready for it, though, and that is one heck of a pre-nade, considering the fact that Lethal came in grappling all the way out from bottom mid. But back to the action here, you have to think E United thinking they were only 1 cap away. Now this looks pretty far out of reach with just 3 minutes left and 3 flags to go.
Yeah, Sentinels can now just play this in a way where they dominate mid-map, they slay United wherever they push, and without a solid all-4 down from United onto Sentinels, you have to imagine that this will still continue, and actually, it might not even be a chance for United to continue running flags, because Sentinels are looking to put 1 more flag in here and go 4-0 up with 2 minutes remaining.
We're going to have to see that on replay. That was Snakebite, last player alive. Actually finds a player in the back of his base. That's going to be Ryan Noob. And actually, Ryan Noob will take him down, but you have to think he might be taken down pretty quickly after a play like that. Staying alive in the back of the base as long as he can. Now going to see if that flag will stay there.
Flag is being returned by Rain, and actually 3 members are going to be there on it, but where is the flag of Sentinels? How far did E United get it? It looks like it's just bottom market right now, so ensuring that E United didn't go 4-0 down, they committed so many players to get that return. Because of that, Sentinels, they spawned down towards Trench, they've overextended, they've now got into E United's base, and all while this is going down, with no flags being scored, it's still a huge advantage for Sentinels.
What a play in the back of the base from Ryan Noob. You see his nickname there in-game, Ryan Noob Nerds, for a reason, as that flag is going to be continuing run from Sentinels trying to grapple it across, but he gets stopped mid-grapple slide, and more shots coming in from the side of Rain. He'll be able to pick up a 2nd kill as well.
Certainly United getting back into this in terms of slays now, really starting to feel themselves, but you have to feel, is it just a little bit too late? They have to prioritize getting into Sentinel's base now and start to running these flags. But Sentinels can play defensive, they can turtle up, they can put themselves in awkward spots where they can hide round corners, and they can just bank grenades off walls, so that United really struggle to get into this fortress.
Can Nick stay alive? Nick gets a double kill on the re, so that should be a re from E United, but once again, it's just Sentinels applying the pressure there at home base on the side of E United. So E United getting impressive returns and impressive multi-kills on the back of the base, but guess what? We're here with a minute left. 2-0 on your scoreboard, 3-0 in overall score, and Sentinels, like you said, they're just going to continue slaying and going to finish this one out, but here comes E United trying to make one last push.
Royal 2, 26 kills, make it 27. Snakebite also at 20. Sentinels are really having a field day when it comes to slays, and now I think it's just a formality. It's starting to be a little bit of a victory parade at this point. E United will desperate this flag as much as possible to try and give themselves a chance, but Sentinels know all they have to do is slay out here, and they will be moving on to the Elimination Bracket Finals.
That's it, 30 seconds left here. As a reminder, the winner of this match will be facing Inconceivable. A fantastic matchup that we look forward to, and a little bit of, like we said, some tactical crouch, some victory crouch, call it what you want. Snakebite and crew very happy with that game. The time will tick down, and the players in the game will let it tick down, because that is going to be a Sentinels 3-0 victory, and my God, Gaskin, do they ever answer back from that last series and some of the drama that we saw on Twitter.
Yeah, just to remind you all, Sentinels were knocked into the elimination bracket by E United, but they get their revenge. There was so much drama on Twitter last night, and boy, can you expect more, because I'm sure there are going to be some comments coming from some of these Sentinels players. You could see it with the teabagging that was put on display, but what a commanding victory. I know that it was a long one to get through. I'm sure there was fatigue for all of the players